Hey, love bugs, it's Roslynn back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended family, as always, thank you so much for the love and support y'all been constantly giving me. It's truly, truly appreciated. So with that being said, much love to all. Namaste. Love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video or just tell me about your empathic gift. If you feel like the videos of the content that I project out is giving you a good uplift or just vibes you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through some challenging times, needing spiritual guidance, or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path and even soul purposes, please go ahead and share and like, give your girl a thumbs up, like, and also share in social media favorites wherever you see fit. As always, thank you so much for the love and support. It is truly, truly appreciated, and I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And I'm still using the same meditation from my first video. It's from Spiritual Moment, 741 Hertz, Emotional Detox, Emotional Well-Being, Remove Subconscious Blockages, Healing Music. And it really hit me good on the last video because I know I was like, ugh. So I felt so spent. But anyways, the video that I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, universe isn't breaking us. She is using ways to wake up our subconscious towards our truth. I was just talking about on other video of being able to focus on our stillness, and it's true. At times when we're going through very heavy circumstances, and it's just basically trying to move us out of our own way. The things that are falling apart out of our lives is something that was based on something that's no longer needed in our lives. And a lot of times when things are breaking away from our life, it can feel like all hell done broke loose in so many different ways. But then it's allowing you to be able to have a sturdy, solid foundation of what you're creating, and build a foundation that is based on all your truth, what you live by, what you tolerate, what you bring towards the table, what you're trying to change from a negative circumstance or, a traumatic episode or traumatic situations that you've been placed in, to be able to have a powerful as well as positive outcome into our lives. It's just like when I see everything in my life of how things are unfolded, and a lot of times when we're dealing with stuff, it's like, why does it have to be so dragged out? They always keep on saying, signs are coming up where you're ending the different cycles, and we're actually in our new chapter, but it's like going through the finishing touches. It's like when you go to like a car wash, one of those expensive like Google car washes. I know we have those here in Georgia. I don't know if everybody got Google car wash, but it's just like you're washing the whole car off. Things start, hitting the bottom of the car, trying to make sure all the dust and debris and stuff is off up in the car. And it takes you through all those brushes around it. Some kids and well as animals get, very traumatized by all of that. But it's doing a very thorough clean. And that's what the heck we're going through, is going through that thorough clean. Because even though, I'm a type of person, I'm a Taurus, then I got my signs of Scorpio, Leo, and Gemini on top of that, with a little dose of, Cancer and Capricorn, which is a whole hot mess to me. But, I was always, I wasn't that type of person that I had to have things like last, within that whole second. I don't want to wait for nothing. If it has to, if things that I want in my life for the better is not going to work, when I have these constant tries, I just give up. Now, universe places me in situations where all those little impulse feelings that I have and outlooks is being, fully transformed. And now I can allow myself to really see the positive outcome from it being dragged on for so long into my life. It allowed me to really heal on different things that has been placed in my life that, I allowed myself to take personal by other people's wounds. Being able to allow myself to forgive myself from holding on to things that, yes, it was very traumatic, but you're allowing yourself to know this was going to be a part of your purpose. You never know how the things that has been impacting your life in the most hectic, crazy way, hurtful way, can be something that is like unfolding to you to be amongst your purpose. It's like with us as Heyokas, we always find the hardest way to do things. It's just like, hey, there's, you can get right across the bridge, and be where you want to be at within 2.9 milliseconds. And it's just like, no, I know this path right here, and I just want to go ahead and, just take me a nature walk through all this. And it takes us like about 2 hours for something we could just cross the bridge for like 2.9 milliseconds. We tend to do things in that type of way, in which you're truly trying to understand in that way. And, it's like something you have to work through on a daily. And it's just like when I was doing the first video, I felt that good vibe. And I had to tell the universe, thank you, because I was just, in a low vibration, I was just thinking about too many things. And, stuff gets heavy for me because it's like, there's a lot of things I can't turn away from, the things that I truly need to heal from, and have faith within God. He allows me to see that everywhere, and it becomes a challenge. But the real challenge is not allowing things that are out of my control and let them unfold the way they're supposed to. And you really just don't know when we're trying to force something to be when we want it, it's not going to come out that way. It's like what you're doing is just, all it is just forcing you in a situation. You're trying to push a car up a hill when it is in neutral, and you're this one person, and you're trying to push a Yukon Denali up a hill. That's not going to work. This is going to just create more hurt, pain, whatever. And you can probably get killed from that. Most likely you can. But it's just like allowing things to unfold for itself. The universe had to shake things up. There was a part of us that wasn't feeling fulfilled, or there was a part of us that felt like there is a part of our lives just, something is missing. And I've been like that. I don't know if everybody's like that, but there's, I've did different jobs in my life. Like I've told you, if you've been with me for a long time, I used to be an exotic dancer. I don't say stripper because I feel like in my motto, when we do that, it's like strippers do anything for $1. Exotic is just like, you just exotic. You ain't just doing just anything for, $1. But just being able to have myself in different, jobs and stuff like that is like, some people like, dancing is a job. Yes, it is. Because you have to paint a fantasy up for somebody. you just got to be that in front of people, which was like, I won't even be ashamed of that. Because, it's just like I had my 3 daughters very, very young. My last daughter, which is 20, I had her right around her age that she is now, and I was willing to sacrifice any and everything for my kids. That was something, I was just like, I used to dance. It's like, oh, Mom, we've been do that. I'm like, wait a minute, how did y'all know? We seen them shoes running around here. We already know what those are, and I'm just like, you can't get nothing over on kids. But, and I used to tell them, this is not, a profession I want you going through or anything like that. But I love my daughters. I wanted to make sure that they had a roof over their head, food on the table and clothes on their back, and their needs are being met, so I had to go through different struggles during that. But it allowed me to be honest with myself because, it was always based on, I used to always hear, what if you become famous or, you're doing all these things. You never know. You may be, out there, being a celebrity or whatever, what are you going to do? And it's just like not allowing myself to be shameful of my past. My past is what made me the person I am today. And it allowed me to not worry about what people think. It's just like anybody, you can see a lot of celebrities today. They, there's some people that, especially Carly B. She used to dance. She had no problem with telling people that, there's videos and stuff all over the place, but she become her own person, even though she goes through different things like everybody else, you're allowing your truth to not hinder the person you are now, regardless of what, you got going on. I said Cardi is just Cardi. But it is just the person, me being who I am. I always tell people never be ashamed of your life on how it was that brought you to a place of consciousness within your subconsciousness of who you are today. It's like you had to go through those ups and downs. You had to go through a power of a struggle. You know, if you're blessed and you didn't have to go through nothing like that, it's just awakening a part of you that you weren't ready to receive at that point in time. You know, that's a blessing. I'm like, God bless you, and every blessing is coming on towards your life that, you know, God continues to rain on you because you're a good one. But there's a lot of us that had to go through amidst the struggles where we may have had issues with addictions, where we went through a lot of connections, no matter if it was, you know, family or the people that we connected with, and those type vibrations of relationships was very toxic. We end up following the traits that we have been exposed to. And so these are the things that I always tell people, you know, when, especially if we do one-on-one, I know they get kind of, you know, timid on the things they want to tell me. And I said, look, you know, I'll put mine out here on Front Street. It's not like a Bonita Betrayal type situation. Anybody seen Living Color back day? You already know who Bonita Betrayal is. But it's just being open with my life. I don't care what people think about my life. I ain't out there dancing on the pole dropping like it's hot. Roslynn can't even move like that no more. But it's the whole point on what I was willing to do in my life for my children, what I had to do to take care of myself, you know, doing, you know, best of what I could do with what I have, you know, but then being able to change myself. I can be my own test of my own testimony that I'm putting out on Front Street. And I tell people, never be ashamed of the person you were, that got, you know, that you went through different things, because it totally transformed your life to a person you are now. You're more aware of what choices to make. And a lot of times when you're dealing with different, you know, harshness in the world within yourself, you know, you can be your own battle at times. You know, it makes you fall back on different things. You know, you devil like, hey, you sure you don't want to roll up a B and, you know, you be sky high today? No, I'm good. I'm just go ahead and embrace these emotions and allow myself to push through that. This is what I have to do. I can't sit up here and self-medicate myself on something. I need to fully give it my whole attention on pushing through that negativity so I can get to the peace of my mind. I don't need something to take the edge off. And that's a lot of times when I thought I was like catering to my own excuses, basically. That's what it was for me. And just basically saying, oh, you know, it wasn't an escape. It was just to ease that sting a little bit. And that's basically somewhat of an escape for me, allowing myself not to become one within my emotions, not let myself sit there, but become very aware of what these emotions are being caused behind, you know, and that's allowing you to open up that subconscious within your life. Because a lot of times we choose to ignore things that, you know, it was a painful thing in our lives, but not realizing we are that walking tragedy that is not allowing ourselves to embrace what was in that subconscious at that time. And that can be very hard. But that's why our universe wants to be able to give you that entitlement to know you are a warrior. You know, a warrior, you look this up, you go see the different stories, you hear about a warrior, and they go through some very, that's what warriors do. But the changer is being able to unfold all that and seeing what kind of positive, you know, outcomes you can have from something that was very tragic in your life, something was very negative, something that, you know, it may make you feel shameful if you're living within this in the ego, or you're being projecting within your wounds. We want you to be able to do this. This was your path. You had to go down these things. You know, I see different motivational speakers that I've talked about before, and I use them as an example a lot. And it's beautiful because you never know somebody's story. I always try to be able to, you know, practice on not being judgmental towards somebody, because you don't know the media with different celebrities and stuff out. You know, I try to allow myself to say, okay, I put my input in, but I try to be very cautious on not being, you know, judgmental on the stuff that's going on in the world today. But just being able to understand, being very aware. You know, I remember there was this guy who's a motivational speaker. I mean, his story just really touched my heart. You know, I guess he was in a foster care in Brazil somewhere, and he had no limbs. Beautiful little boy, but, you know, certain circumstances, I don't know if the parents just didn't want him, or they knew his medical needs, they wouldn't be able to afford it or anything like that. I don't know as far as that goes, but, you know, he had a family in the United States that wanted to adopt him, and they knew, they were very aware, like, okay, he may need some medical you know, things taken care of, you think you can be able to handle that? And they were like, you know what, we want to be able to give him a home, and do these different things. And it's just a boy. He was, when you see him, it make you feel bad when you're like, oh, my back hurt, I don't feel like walking today, I don't feel like exercising. This boy was doing more than what we would do, probably make excuses for. He was doing it, and he didn't have limbs. That would make you feel bad on what you're neglecting to do for yourself, that this boy had full capacity of doing, within himself. And they were like, his family was like, oh, well, be careful. And be like, stop babying me. I'm okay. And he was just doing any and everything. I think he played like basketball and soccer and stuff like that. And that was very much of an inspiration, and that was his journey within itself, that you're showing people what they can do, at full capacity when you have all your limbs. But let me be that person to show you what I have done and I continue to do when I was lacking what a lot of times we as people take for granted, and just being able to see that. And I tell people all the time, you never know what kind of struggle that you may be in within your life that may be, embarrassing to you, very shameful to you. You don't know how just being able to project your life in whatever circumstances that you have, to be able to be, this person that is changing the world within just your experience of life. And people don't know. I tell people all the time, you don't know what kind of inspiration you have from your tragedy that will inspire other people to heal within their tragedies as well. Because there's always somebody out there that can truly relate to some heaviness that you may be projecting out to the world. And I always tell people, don't be shameful. Don't be shameful. People come to me, I was like, oh, Roslynn, I had to slip up. Baby, I'm not God. I'm not going to sit up here and do that. Now, if I'm the type of person and we're friends like that, I'm going to be that motivational person to you, because I know how I got to be up and put my foot in my own behind. Like, you better than this. Stop giving the devil what he wants. He wants to see you stressed out. He wants to see you go back into your old ways. He wants you to close down your subconsciousness and just use judgment. Living through your toxicity of every wound that you have had in your life. We want you to project towards that. They don't want you. He wants you to close down your subconscious. He wants you to believe that anything that is supposed to be presented to you as abundance, prosperity, and blessings of all forms, it's a lie. But if you do things the way he wants you to do it, you can get everything you want. You don't even got to sit up here and take away the bad stuff. I love it when you do that. It's basically like you taking parts of yourself and you making it worse than it already was. It's like, all these different things that's going on in the world. And it's like you had to go through those experiences within your life. And then there was a certain period where universe seemed fit that things are starting to come open right now. Because it's just like for the last 4 years, I can say things has been preparing us to be awakened for knowing what kind of, level of empathy that we hold. What are we representing? And it's just like anybody been with me for a while, I usually have premonitions. I was saying different empaths are, coming out of the dirt. That means that they're awakening. Some empaths already know that spiritual being of empath, but they know that something is different. The traits are different. Things hit them a lot harder. And I'm not saying just an average empath, because we all have our level of empathy. We all have our level of gifts. So it's not, some people be seeing like, Heyokas is better than everybody else, and stop being like that, because we're all, everybody got their part to play. Ain't about nobody being over nobody. That's just their way of thinking in that way. But we all hold our part within our purpose. You're all changing the world with something that you may have had close encounters with, you have experienced within your own life. There's things that you want to be able to not just change within yourself, but what you want to see the world change within itself as well. And that's the reason why we have to go through these things in life. I love what I do. I was just like I proved to myself, even before I started this video. It's like, you see how you can be a positive outlet for just yourself when you allow yourself not to soak in things that, that is sent to break you, but it didn't. It broke you away from everything that was meant to be presented as a lie. And you're seeing that truth. The truth may not be pretty, but you're embracing it the best way you can each and every day. Trying to allow myself to get in my own feelings, trying to not get in my own way of healing or what God has for me. Allowing myself to back up. Stop giving the devil something to do. They wait. They were right there. And the best way to get us is when we're already going through different changes. But the best way they get into us is during our sleep. Because that's when we usually stay the most vulnerable, is when we're asleep. And people are like, how do you know that? Wait until you get up in the morning. Does it feel like your whole body is like either got bumps and bruises all up and down, or you feel drained? You feel really drained when you just got up. Now, especially if you don't slept for like 6 or 7 hours, you still feel drained. That means you are under a spiritual attack. Some say now is like when you start having sexual dreams. That's when the demon is connecting with you, like a succubus or incubus or whatever. You're going through many different changes in your life, and that challenge is for allowing you not to be in your own way. Get in tune with your subconscious. See what things that needs to be changed. See what things that you need to change your focus on. What frequency did you need to stop giving away towards things that make your whole life worse than it already is? They're wanting you to be very prideful within yourself. Not prideful, but being able to commend your own self just on the things that used to be a very bad challenge for you. If you can go 24 hours without having a negative thought, vibration into your life, congratulate yourself on it. Then you try the next day. Let me see if I can go ahead and have another day. And if I do, what kind of positive activities can I do within myself to make me get back on that higher frequency? Because I don't need to torture myself on staying in a low frequency that is not doing anything for you except staying in a stagnant vibration that you're not supposed to be in. You're supposed to be able to embrace those challenges. And I already know I don't like change like that anyway. I say I love change, but the way that change be hitting me, I don't like it. But I know that that's a big thing for me. That was something I had to move forward in. I challenged my own self, like, okay, you went 24 hours without having to have a sad or depressed vibration, or, a longing for you to heal from grief that you have been going through for a long time. Being able to allow myself to not get fixated on the things that has really shook my mind in my life to a core. Being able to project something positive when it seemed like you embraced the negative vibrations for so long. A long times, within ourselves, our depression, our anxiety, our sadness, our trauma became our best friends. And that when we're getting into a new challenge where you're disconnecting from that, and it gets hard because especially if that was your ace boon coon for the last 10 years. It's been your A1 since day one. And they said, "Down, this is a new challenge. Allow yourself to stay fixated and be happy with the positive vibrations that you're having within that change of what you're being challenged with for today." And then see what kind of positive, elevation you can do for the next day. And you keep doing that for the next day and the next day. Because I know one of my love bugs asked me, Roslynn, I struggle. We all struggle. There's a lot of us that have those addictions. But those are the addictions that we connect with. And we have for us to be able to face or allow ourselves to curve that emotion. And it's like the game changer is you have to do things that what kind of hobbies you have other than your addictions. Because I used to say that, my hobbies used to be smoking the devil's lettuce. And a lot of people, that makes them either happy, hungry, wanting to do some relations or something else. But me, it was like a flip for me. And when I do it, I was very happy, joked around, played around, hyper, wanting to dance. It did something totally different for me. And I stayed maintaining a very small weight. When I let that go, everything else got let go. But now my challenge is allowing myself to be therapeutic with myself. I don't need weed for me to be able to embrace my happiness. I need to be able to do that with no kind of medical or herbal stimulation of that sort. Now, I'm not judging anybody else for whatever you do, because there's a lot of people that do that, and I know a lot of empaths do that. And I don't have no problem with that. When universe wants you to quit, trust, and believe, you're going to see some indications they don't want you to smoke it no more. Because a lot of times with my situation, with that truth that they laid on me, they knew I had to have something because they already knew I was that type of person. I was about that life. I was a thug, So they allowed me to have that. And for me to be able to change myself, they had to be, okay, we already know what you're dealing with and what you're working with. So we're going to allow you to stay on this for a minute. But you'll start seeing the indications where you have to allow yourself to not feed into that Don't let this to be your situation or stay in what you're in when you're not meant to, And so I had to allow myself to do that. My challenge is, no matter what emotion I'm facing, that may be sad, upset, anger, allow myself to invest in that emotion and be aware so I can be able to allow myself to disconnect it. That was my challenge of that day. No matter what I'm going through, anybody who smokes a cigarette, the best thing we used to do in the morning, if you drink coffee, whatever, cappuccino, you go to Starbucks, you want your icy coffee, whatever. A lot of times we have a cigarette. After you eat, you have a cigarette. After you go to the bathroom, some people smoke in their house. I didn't do that. I had my own foyer, whatever. I didn't do that, and that now I'm allowing myself to embrace that. If I need to cry that day, I'm gonna allow myself to cry, but I'm allowing myself to wipe them tears and keep it moving. Be attentive with your subconscious. You allow yourself to see where your vibrations is going. Is your vibrations going towards something that's very therapeutic and is going to be enriching to your mind, your vibration, your frequencies that you're trying to heighten towards, prosperity, or anything that's going to be positive that's coming to your life? Or you're allowing yourself to be fixated on things that makes you cry, makes you stay in that vibration of confusion, stagnant. That's the reason why these things awaken and it hits you hard. And this is that reason why, because it makes it feel like, universe is punishing us. I've been that way. I said, you bring people in my life that had their intentions on hurting me or trying to see how they can take advantage of my kindness and use it against me for weaknesses. You bring people towards my way that I help them, and then they find out something in my life, or they know about it and try to use it to the best of their advantage and still try to block me from my blessings. I had to deal with all that. But now it's just like, not everybody's meant to stay in my life. So I don't know why I get fixated like, oh, is this person going to be in my life for a lifetime? Or is it just going to be a touch and go? We get our blessings as, tying up a loose end between us both, because we don't play, a different connection when we're in another past life. And, we have not ended that cycle yet. So now I'm going through a cycle. Now it's just like, if I have people in my life, I appreciate them for why they're here. Even when they leave my life, whether it's negative or positive, I appreciate that connection. Just because I'm not a friend with somebody no more doesn't make them invest an enemy. But if we ain't talking no more, you don't need to be coming back, try to see what you can wreck shop, because that's only going to block your blessings in that same accord. But just being able to allow myself to say, however this person is supposed to stay in my life or how we're supposed to connect, I'm going to appreciate that, because there's a life lesson or there's something I had to be able to connect and finish within that person to be able to say, okay, I'll play my card, keep allowing myself to do me. Because it took a long time for me not to do that. I didn't allow myself to get too personal with people, because it's like negative circumstances happen too much when it comes to that. But it came to that point where there are certain things that I had to change within myself so those don't keep happening, So all these things that you're going through is changing you, is giving you with that enlightenment of things, that you don't always, you're always learning something new about yourself, about the world within itself, your path, the change within yourself, the things that you're probably seeing from a different light. Now you're changing your perspective. You're not allowing yourself to be the narrative of the negative anymore. You're working on that. You're working on healing that type of vibration and seeing that what do I need to invest in my life to make it better? Because worrying and fixating on something, on wanting to move faster, I've been there, it's not going to make it any better. But allowing yourself to be within that moment. Don't say, oh, this whole week I'm not going to allow anything to affect me. Don't do that, because the only person, no, you can't even say that, but allowing yourself to just be in the now, be present within your own presence, allowing yourself, you have a good day on that day, just like, what, I'm blessed, because it's like I went a whole day without even having a personal setback on something that, happened years ago that I couldn't change. Allowing myself, when emotion comes up about a certain person or a situation, allowing myself, what, I needed that truth. A lot of times we go through different stuff, so what to look for in case that situation comes up again. What kind of characteristics do these certain situations or these certain individuals have? If I had a friend that dogged me when they couldn't no longer manipulate me, that was not my loss. That was more of theirs. But I can be able to say that was a blessing, for me to be able to be that blessing towards you you may be needing. A lot of times you don't realize when you have a jealous heart, an envious heart towards people that were sent to connect and maybe had a big blessing for you. You don't block all that just because you did some stuff on an envy vibration, but it's still a blessing towards each and every one of you. A lot of times we connect with people that are not used to having a genuine friend, and then when they do have one, they don't know what to do with it, and that's not your issue. You continue to still be a blessing towards others as well as most definitely towards yourself. Be alert where your subconscious is taking you, because if it's taking you down a road you don't need to be, you need to press pause for your calls and check all emergency exits and allow yourself to say, okay, this is taking me down a road that I already know is going to bring some heavy vibrations, and a lot of us don't realize those heavy vibrations hold more weight than the positive ones do, because a lot of times we're so fixated on things we can't change, we end up creating that as being our own reality. But then we get pissed off if we've been working on this positivity and waiting for this to come in, it ain't came yet. And we have to be subconsciously aware of the fact is, did you put as much weight on what you're trying to bring into your life that's going to benefit you and many that's going to connect with you? Or you hold weight on that negative, on what people did to you that, it was just supposed to be able to show you what people's true intent was about you, and where their mind was at. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people connect with you for their own selfish needs. A lot of people see empathy as being the definition of idiot or naive. It's not about that. It's just the fact is you always want, no matter how bad that person is, you want to be able to bring out that light that's there. But that's not your choice to do. You're supposed to plant, you give them that seed and you're supposed to plant and nurture themselves. But all these different things, see where that vibration is going at. If you're placing your positivity and you're adding the duties of manifesting what you're trying to do, make sure your subconscious is in something that's bringing in nourishment to your life that's going to be very positive, and allow yourself to be able to learn from the negative that been holding a lot of weight. Because you have to understand, whatever we focus on becomes our reality. Because it's like, okay, if these come out and it doesn't go the way our way as well, see, I already knew it was going to go that way. Yeah, you made that your reality. Even in the back of your mind, oh yeah, I know God got something for me. But then you hold that energy for that space that you think that things ain't going to work out for you. Or you feel like it's going to come out on a certain day. I had to allow myself to, don't do that, because you already know God's going to allow you to have something. He already told you whatever you're working on is yours. He's just bringing you to that same magnitude that is that new heighten for you, that new you. It had to be in that same vibration. And the reason why you haven't honored yourself to get connected with that, and that's what they're trying to get us to do, to be on that same level, and then use your experiences that you had to not just stop right there. Don't get comfortable. You have to go get comfortable, get creative. That's all he wants us to do. Don't stop at where that goal hits you at. Bring more to this, going to be fruitful to your life, and others going to connect with you. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video, y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed, safe holiday, whoever is celebrating. I would love to give a post notification shout out to Laureen Brandon, Breezy, BEZ Tarot Readings. Much love to you. And Tiffany Sterling and Jonathan Hedo, I hope that I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. And Martin Robinson, much love as well. If you're new, welcome. It's so good to have you. Please drop a line. I'll always leave my contact information in the description box below. Make sure y'all have your notifications on, because I will be doing some more live chats throughout the week. I might go ahead and start tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow, because I got one tomorrow, and then I got to do one again on Wednesday. So I'm going to start doing that at least about 2 or 3 times a week and see how that goes. If you're bringing drama to me, know that I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not even going to fixate on that. I'm going to just block your ass out. It ain't going to be no problem. I'm going to still keep on doing me. So it's all about being able to chat, being able to converse within the tribe, being able to meet other people, as well as being able to connect with me as well. Because I truly love the fact that you can really relate relate and resonate with the things that I project in my content of my videos. And I'm so glad as well as honored to feel blessed that I know that is giving you some kind of peace and clarity that you have needed along the way. So I hope you enjoy your holiday. Please be safe and responsible at everything you do. Know that I'm sending so much love and uplifting prosperity blessings towards you to wherever you're trying to bring into your life. It comes so much bigger and better than you ever imagined, and it comes sooner than you expected. And as well as, social distancing, give out love, light, and positivity. There's so much hate in the world. You just never know how long, how far it will take people. So I will see y'all on my next video. Make sure you keep your notifications on for that chat to be able to come up, and I will see you on my next video. Much love. Peace.